Shabbat Shalom. Our scripture reading for today is Romans chapter 12, verses 2 and 3. Be not conformed to this world, but be you transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Elohim. For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think, but to think soberly, according as Elohim has dealt to every man the measure of faith.
Shabbat Shalom family, our selection today, Caterpillar's Song.
The oracles of the UCI, 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 7 through 11. But the end of all things is at hand. Be you therefore sober, and watch unto prayer. And above all things have fervent love among yourselves, for love shall cover the multitude of sins. Use hospitality one to another without grudging. As every man has received the gift, even so minister the same one to another as good stewards of the manifold grace of Elohim. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of Elohim. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which Elohim gives, that Elohim in all things may be glorified through Yahshua the Mashiach, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Amen. Ephesians chapter 4, verses 29 through chapter 5 and verse 4. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. And grieve not the Holy Spirit of Elohim, whereby you are sealed until the day of redemption. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. And be you kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as Elohim for Yahshua's sake has forgiven you. Be you therefore followers of Elohim, as dear children, and walk in love, as the Mashiach also have loved us, and has given himself for us an offering and sacrifice to Elohim for a sweet-smelling savor. But fornication and all uncleanness or covetousness, let it not be once named among you as become saints. Neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor jesting, which are not convenient, but rather given of thanks. Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verses 1 and 2. Keep your foot when you go to the house of Elohim, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil. Be not rash with your mouth, and let not your heart be hasty to utter anything before Elohim. For Elohim is in heaven, and you upon earth. Therefore, let your words be few. Exodus chapter 23, verses 20 and 21. Behold, I send an angel before you to keep you in the way, and to bring you into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him, and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. Revelations chapter 3, verses 20 through 22. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come in to him and will sup with him, and he with me. To him that overcomes will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I have also overcame and am sat down with my Father in his throne. He that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says unto the churches.
All right, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Which is peace on Yahweh's holy Sabbath day. Welcome to another holy convocation that Yahweh has enjoined unto us here in this body of Yahshua. When we just examine the difference between a caterpillar and a butterfly, one of them crawling.
Mm-hmm.
So it's real easy to tell if you're still on the ground. Then when you ain't got your wings yet. Now, if we're looking 7-8 years later, and the same things bother you that used to bother you 7 years ago, you're still on the ground. You ain't got your wings yet. Why do the same things cause you to operate the exact same way 7-8 years later? You ain't got your wings yet. You are still on the ground. And the reason for our uplifting is Yahweh. One of the things that Priest Kish just read in the oracles, I stand and knock at the door. If any man will open, I will come in and sup with him and he with me. Wait a minute. That man still has the ability to say, you know what? I'm not going to accept that. I'm not going to open the door unto Yahweh. It didn't say that they didn't understand. No, they understood. They read, they understood, they were taught, they knew. They decided, I don't want to change this. I like being on the ground. Being in the air scares me. I don't know if I want these wings. Besides that, I got a lot of legs as a caterpillar. I believe I'm safer here. So I don't want to be transformed. So this is a question that we have to ask ourselves, are we delaying our transformation because we've gotten comfortable in our previous state? We're going to deal with some things today. Today's sermon is entitled The Great Accuser. Now, before we get started, I want Priest Kish to read the intro here that is coming from Psalms 109. Could you read that for me?
Hold not your peace, O Elohim of my praise. For the mouth of the wicked and the mouth of the deceitful are opened against me. They have spoken against me with a lying tongue. They compassed me about also with words of hatred, and fought against me without a cause. For my love, they are my adversaries. But I give myself unto prayer, and they have rewarded me evil for good, and hatred for my love.
Now, when we find ourselves in the midst of a fiery trial, we must remember that it is written in Isaiah 54 and verse 17, no weapon that is formed against you shall prosper, and every tongue that shall rise against you in judgment, you shall condemn. Now, it's one thing to go around talking about no weapon formed against you shall prosper. It's something altogether different to know how to deal with or condemn every tongue that rises against you in judgment. So now we're going to go off in the scripture so we can show how exactly to do that. Let's begin today's sermon in Revelation chapter 12. And while we're going there, one of the things that we have to deal with, we consider, how did Yeshua free the woman accused of adultery? Now, by the conversation, you can tell that the woman did commit the adultery, because at the end he said, woman, where are your accusers? She says, I see not any. He said, neither do I. Go and sin no more. Now, he didn't have to say no more if she didn't do it. Now, what made these individuals false witnesses, even though half of what they said was true? There you go. That's what made them a false witness. They gave a half testimony. They said, we have caught this woman in the act of adultery. All right, well, if you caught her in the act of adultery, where's the guy? Being that now the accusation is false because you didn't divulge all the information or bring all the parties. Now the whole trial is false. So Yeshua then used their lack thereof of bringing a adequate trial and said point blank, I'm throwing out the charges. He didn't throw out the charges because she didn't do it. He's throwing out the charges because of the false way it was brought. And we don't consider sometimes when we bring forward something and we don't bring it the right way, even if something was done against you, you have come incorrectly, the case is going to get thrown out anyway. How many people, how many court cases we've seen that we can say, well, no, judging by the evidence, it looked like that person did it. Yeah, but they violated that individual's rights. Yes, they did this. They did all of these things incorrect. Case thrown out. They did not come correctly. And this is where you deal with lies by omission. See, they omitted the individual who was supposedly involved with this woman, thereby causing themselves to be false witnesses. Now, even in examining the false witness from Yeshua's perspective, remember now, some of those witnesses said he was going to knock down this temple and rebuild it in 3 days. He didn't say that. Yet, they were listed as false witnesses. How is that? Because they understood what he said on their natural level. He was speaking on a level way over their head. They were false witnesses because they lacked understanding. But what he said, that is what he said. But because they were on a lower level of understanding, they couldn't articulate what he was actually saying. So even though they said exactly what he said, they were still false witnesses. This is how you have to be careful that you don't lean to your own understanding and become a false witness and you swear, I know that's what I heard. Did you hear it with your ears or did you hear it with your spirit? See, my elder used to say, turn your spirit ears on. Make sure you got your spirit ears on. See, most people born with natural ears. That's a part of being formed in the womb. They got those. But spirit ears are something altogether different. Make sure you have those on, lest you hear something, swear you got the understanding of it, and then go attack somebody with some information that you have understood. Let's Revelation chapter 12, and let's start that at verse 7.
And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon and his angels, and prevailed not, neither was their place found any more in heaven. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, called the devil and Satan, which deceives the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him. And I heard
so the devil and his angels are set to be evicted out into the earth. Now, if you think there is problems on the earth now, when you talk about the adversary and his angels, these are those that go about to follow him. So understand, they have information of all things. And what some people do with access to information, they use that to flip it. This is how you can make a true lie. Because it got parts of truth in it. And the people who are aware of certain things, they'll hear those bits of truth and believe that the rest of it must be true as well. Go ahead.
And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now has come salvation and strength, and the kingdom of our Elohim and the power of his Mashiach. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our Elohim day and night.
Wait a minute. The adversary of the devil is not just waging war in heaven. Before he waged the war, he was already making accusation, attempting to sow discord between Yahweh and his creation. So now you have one creation that wants to be closer than the other creation. Go ahead.
And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb, and by the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto the death. Therefore rejoice, you heavens, and you that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great anger, because he knows that he has but a short time.
He knows he has but a short time because he has now been exposed. See, while he's making the accusations, all of that is in the shadows. He's making an accusation. Everybody doesn't know his stand yet. Once the war starts, you not only see who he is and what he is, but you also now see everyone that he has gotten under his wing. He can't hide anymore. His ability to move about in the shadows is now gone. Wherever he moves, people say, there you go right there. You know, once you get bit by a dog, you know you never lose that dog ever again. You know, no matter what, when you take one step out your door, the one thing, hey, where Black at? You don't even go to the mailbox before you find out where Black at. Once he done sunk them teeth into you one time, you ain't gonna lose him no more. They said, well, 5 dogs out there. I can tell you where Blackett was. I don't know about the other folk. But I can tell you Blackett was up there right there by that truck. Now, why you know where Blackett was? Because that's the one that bit me. And sometimes we try our best not to get bit by something. But there's certain things that Yahweh wants you to know where it's at all times. So he's going to let it bite you. Okay, go ahead.
And when the dragon saw that he was cast out onto the earth, he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child.
So he's angry with Yahweh, but he's persecuting the woman. Because this is how you get to Yahweh. You get to Yahweh by persecuting the woman. He already tried to fight Yahweh. He lost. He can't beat Yahweh. He know he can't beat Yahweh. That's a fight he ain't going to win. So let's attack the woman. Go ahead.
And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time and times and half a time from the face of the serpent. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood.
Right. Now it'll just be a flood of lies to try to drown the woman in those lies. Go ahead.
And the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth.
Understand now, if the adversary is cast out into the earth and his angels with him, you do understand that they are looking for bodies to inhabit, right? Because it's one thing having the spiritual power to affect the situation. It's something altogether different to have a physical body to be able to do that with. They can do way more damage if that spirit can find a body to inhabit and then let that person be the one that people sees telling the lies, doing the deception. Now, when that spirit changes from that body and goes into another body, we're still looking at that person, but that spirit over there. Go ahead.
And the dragon was angry with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of Elohim, and have the testimony of Yahshua HaMashiach. So
the great accuser not only attacks and tries to take Yahweh's seat, because ultimately there's jealousy of Yahweh. The great accuser wants Yahweh's spot. He says, I will be just like the Most High. When that doesn't succeed, he then attacks the woman. When that doesn't succeed, he then attacks the children that come forth of the woman. You have to understand, the woman is the church. The individual inhabitants are the children of the woman. Make sure you understand what's going on. Now, it says that he's the great accuser. Let's go to Job chapter 1. There are certain things that we have to pay attention and hear the accusation in it. See, we will remember the attacking of his substance, because you know that hit home. Don't none of us want to lose our money. Don't none of us want to lose our health. But make sure you hear the accusatory nature of how he's speaking. Job chapter 1, I want you to read verses 6 through 12.
Verses 6 through 12.
Yes.
Now there was a day when the sons of Elohim came to present themselves before Yahweh, and Satan came also among them.
So how wicked would we be if we don't make our presentation before Yahweh? If we don't make our appearance? So even the adversary, the devil, made his appearance. Now it was a day when the sons of Elohim came to present themselves before Yahweh, and Satan came also among them. Because it's time for him to make his appearance too. All angels, all sons of Elohim must come and present themselves before him. Go ahead.
And Yahweh said unto Satan, Whence cometh you?
He just said, where you coming from? He ain't said why you here. He know why you there. To make his appearance. Go ahead.
Then Satan answered Yahweh, and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And Yahweh said unto Satan, Have you considered my servant Job?
Have you considered? Wait a minute. He know he's a great accuser. He's been making accusation. Have you considered my servant? Here we go. Go ahead.
That there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that fears Elohim and escheweth evil. Then Satan answered Yahweh and said, Does Job fear Elohim for naught?
Here's the accusation. See, Yahweh already know what he's about. It says he accused them day and night. One thing about it, when somebody do something day and night, you know what they're about. They never stop doing this thing. So Yahweh ain't got to wait for him. Look, man, I ain't got all day for you to make it around to it. Go ahead and let's talk about what's really on your mind. Have you considered my servant? I used to think that was so unfair. Yahweh, please, just don't throw my name out there. I mean, just don't, please, Yahweh, don't do that. I don't know if I'm ready. Don't throw my name out there like that. I mean, the man ain't asked about me. Don't tell the man about me. No, Yahweh already know what he gonna do. He been doing, it says he does this day and night. Yahweh like, hey, ain't no need us wasting time, man. Come on, man, let's talk about my servant. Come on, let's talk. Have you considered him? Because I know what you do. Go ahead.
Have not you made a hedge about him and about his house and about all that he has on every side? You have blessed the work of his hands, and his substance is increased in the land.
All right, here go the accusation.
But put forth your hand now and touch all that he has, and he will curse you to your face.
There is the accusation. See, some accusations flow so smooth that we hear other things instead of the accusation. I bet you he'll curse you to your face. So why you think as it goes down, the woman says, just curse Elohim and die? That was the accusation. So who put them words in the woman's mouth? Who told that woman that the original accusation was he will curse you to your face? How did she get that info? Because that's exactly what came out of her mouth. But this is the adversary saying, I bet you this is what he'll do. Can you read?
And Yahweh said unto Satan, Behold, all that he has is in your power. Only upon himself put not forth your hand. So Satan went forth from the presence of Yahweh.
And now he goes about to try to make that happen. Let's go over to chapter 2 and read verses 1 through 6.
Again, there was a day when the sons of Elohim came to present themselves before Yahweh.
Now, when we get ready to make our appearance and for holy days, we want them to be as peaceful as possible. Do you understand what's happening at each one of these holy days? I can almost tell the holy days by the stuff that starts going on the closer we get to them. This is 2 holy days. And here come the great accuser standing before Yahweh. Yahweh, you know what? No, Lou, tell me what. Go ahead.
And Satan came also among them to present himself before Yahweh.
Now he's presenting himself with absolute deception. Check it out. He presenting himself full of indignation of his brother. He don't even know what he's presenting. Go ahead.
And Yahweh said unto Satan, From whence cometh you? And Satan answered Yahweh and said, From going to and fro in the earth, and from walking up and down in it. And Yahweh said unto Satan, Have you considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and an upright man, one that fears Elohim and escheweth evil? And still he holds fast his integrity.
So your accusation was wrong. Your accusation was incorrect. He still held fast his integrity, although. Go ahead.
You moveth me against him to destroy him without cause. And Satan answered Yahweh and said, Skin for skin, yeah, all that a man has will he give for his life. But put forth your hand now, and touch his bone and his flesh, and he'll curse you to your face.
Once again, another accusation. All right, so he all right with the money. He all right with losing that. I tell you what, touch his body though. Make him sick. I bet you he curse you to your face then. Another accusation. Now, here's the problem. We only know about these accusations. If the scripture says that he does this day and night, you know, one of those got your name on it, right? You know, at some point, he was in Yahweh's ear talking about you. So before we get all into this, Job this and Job that. No. There's a book with your name on it. And one of these accusations is against you. Now ask yourself, how did you fare? When he made accusation against you, was Yahweh proud at the end? I told you. I told you, even though you do this, you say this, you try to embarrass him, you tried to embarrass her, you did all that. I told you they were going to keep serving me. Didn't I tell you? How did you fare when it was your name at the end of the accusation? That's what we need to worry about. This part about Job, that's his accusation. Go ahead, Bree.
You know, Elder, when we read about what happened at the Mount of Transfiguration, they all end and say that Satan left Yahshua for a season. That means he never just stopped because of what we read. And even here we seen the first appearance, and we know there's months before till the next appearance.
Exactly.
He's back with the same agenda.
There you go. There you go. He's not going to stop. He said he's going to gradually, what they call a boxer when he do, he's a real tactician. He's not trying to knock you out with every punch. No, he's wearing you down. See that one punch knockout work until you get to somebody who can take a punch. Now you don't wore yourself out, putting everything you have into that knockout punch, and they still looking at you. Now you got a problem, because you done used up your strength, and we still got 10 more rounds to go. Okay. Now it's going to show. It's going to show now. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 14. Isaiah chapter 14, and let's start that at verse 12.
How are you fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How are you cut down to the ground, which did weaken the nation?
How are you fallen? Wait a minute. You had all this knowledge and understanding and great power. How are you on the ground? I thought you had wings. Oh, so now you back to being a caterpillar. Oh, so Yahweh, you don't act right. He take the butterfly wings and you back to being a caterpillar. What you doing on the ground? You got wings, fly out of there. Well, they don't work no more. Why they don't work? Because I crawled too long. Oh. So your wings just for show. They don't work no more. You're a covering cherub. You use the wings to cover. Oh. So if you don't use that which Yahweh has given you for the purpose in which he has given it to you, he takes it back. Now you got wings, but you can't cover or fly. Interesting. Now ask yourself, what has he given you? And have you used those things adequately? If not, don't be surprised if they start dwindling away. Go ahead.
For you've said in your heart, I will ascend into heaven. I'll exalt my throne above the stars of Elohim. I'll sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north. I'll ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
I will be like the Most High. So you see where the arrogance is. You see where the haughty spirit is. I'm going to be like the Most High. I don't want to be under this man. I want to be better than this man. I want to have the things he had. I don't want to cover the seat no more. I want to sit in it. I've been looking at it for a long time. I'm tired of looking at it. I want to sit in it. Okay. Go ahead.
Yet you shall be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. They that see you shall narrowly look upon you and consider you, saying, is this the man that made the earth to tremble?
Now, wait a minute. Is this the man? Okay. Now, he constantly pointed his finger at other individuals. Now, Yahweh is giving him his just desert. Now they all pointing at him. See, it take a minute for that righteous judgment to come around. But sooner or later, everybody gonna be pointing their finger at him just like he pointed his finger at everybody else. It's just a matter of time. Now the question is, do we understand what time is? Sometimes, folks, we're told, all right, this is the situation. I'll give you a week to straighten this out. Folks said, hey, don't nobody give me no time. You know what I'm saying? I can do what I want whenever time I want. What they didn't understand in the scripture, 1 week. Understand, you got weeks of years. There are certain situations that have sat for 7 years. Wait a minute, what do you think 1 week is? It was 7 years. You look at some instances and people walking around mad about something happened 7 years ago and done told everybody but the person that they supposed to have the altercation with. So the angel gave just as much time as the individual who said, I'm going to give you 1 week to straighten this out. The angel did the same thing. The angel said, I gave you 7 years. That was a week. We don't even know what we be dealing with. We just be talking. We just be talking. We be reading this book, but we can't understand none of the book when it come and show up at 2417 Wichita Drive. We understand the book at somebody else's house. We just don't understand the book at our house. Don't tell me how gracious the law is. You can't remember that when you at your house? You only remember that when you at his? The whole object of reading this is so that it follows you back to your house. Go ahead, preach. What we at?
That did shake kingdoms, verse 17, that made the world as a wilderness and destroyed the cities thereof, that opened not the house of his prisoners. All the kings of the nations, even all of them, lie in glory, everyone in his own house. But you are cast out of your grave.
Now, wait a minute. Everybody else have rest in their house, but you cast out of your grave like an abominable branch. Wait a minute. They got a house. You got a grave. Go ahead.
And as the raiment of those that are slain, thrust through with a sword that go down to the stones of the pit, as a carcass trodden under feet, you shall not be joined with them in burial, because you have destroyed your land and slain your people. The seed of evildoers shall never be renowned.
You have done this. You have destroyed your land. But the way he attacks the woman that brought forth the man-child, you would think that the woman is causing all his problems. Yahweh said, you caused your problem. But see, we got that classic blame shift. We don't like to take credit when it's bad. Now, we want credit when it's good. But when it go wrong, we don't want that credit. No, Yahweh said, no. You have destroyed your land. First thing the adversary want to do is in his accusation, I'm going to bring somebody else here and I'm going to make them accountable for my fall. Go ahead.
Prepare slaughter for his children, for the lawlessness of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities.
Now you see how wrong dealings fall on the next generation. Prepare slaughter for his children. Wait a minute. Now the kids are having to deal with something. Half the time they like, I don't even understand what you're talking about. What I got to do with this? What I got to do with this? Go ahead.
For I'll rise up against them, says Yahweh of hosts, and cut off from Babylon the name and remnant and son and nephew, said Yahweh. I will also make it a possession for the bittern and pools of water, and I'll sweep it with the besom of destruction, says Yahweh of hosts.
All right, let's go to Matthew chapter 18. Because understand something. Great accusation is being made unto us every night at 5, 6, and 11. They call it the news. Wait a minute. Yahshua said that the accusation was false when they brought forth the woman caught in the act of adultery but didn't bring forth the man. All right, so when I look at the news at 5, 6, and 11, and it don't include anything that the Gentiles have done, but it includes everything that my people have done, oh, them false accusations. Now, they not false because my people didn't do it. They false because they ain't equal. Don't you love it? Don't you like getting in this word and you start to find out how he gonna free you? Now I know how he gonna throw the case out of court. See, cause I'm trying to go to Yahweh, but Yahweh, I did this. Shut up, boy. I got you, boy. Yahweh, but I did now this thing down here, because you know I wasn't always a priest. Let me talk, Yahweh, can I talk to you before we go forward? Yahweh, don't go up there yet. Shut up, boy. I got you. But let me just say something. Shut up. Don't you know you had a right to remain silent? Yes. Use it. You start to get in here, you find out how he going to throw your case out. You better learn how to keep walking. It ain't false because you ain't do it. It's false because they didn't bring it equally. You know, man, some of y'all ain't never been in court before, but when you get in court and you get that feeling, you know what? I'm going home. Oh, it's different because your hands be back here. You know what I'm saying? You can tell when you going home, boy. When you start getting that dance, like, what he dancing for? Oh, he can tell. How he can tell? He know it. He going home. He going home. Okay. You start to see how your God finna get this case thrown out. Okay. Where we at?
You know, Elder, it also takes trust in your lawyer. As you know, some people say, but I want to get on the stand, tell the lawyer, so, nah, I think you need to shut up. No, but I want to tell my son. Nah, you know the brother who just ran down the sheriff because after the police shot his son?
Uh-huh.
So while they were standing in court, they wanted him to speak. His lawyer said, he has nothing to say. I would rather him not speak. And the judge say, are you with that? The man did just like this.
Hey, I think he said enough. I think his actions has said enough. Everything else he say after that, they ain't going to use but to try to throw him further up under the jail. Mm-hmm. They going to make a whole new jail to put him in. Why? Because they don't want nobody else to get any ideas about vengeance.
Matthew 18.
Matthew 18, let's start at verse 15.
Moreover, if your brother shall trespass against you, go and tell him his fault between you and him alone.
Right. So the first thing that we have to do in dealing with things, and people wonder, like, why do we go over some of the things more than once? Because you find people have been walking in the word 10 years, and somehow they still forget this when they get to their house. It is very simple. When you have a case or you believe something has happened between you or your brother or you and your sister, step one, pull that person aside. You know what we do? Go and tell everybody else except that person. We done talk to everybody except the person. So when they make it back to that person, you know you already a false witness, right? Here's the problem. Even if they did it, your witness is false. Why? Because you claim to have understanding of the word and did the absolute opposite of the word. Go and tell your brother his fault between you and him alone. Now, if it didn't mean nothing and you say, you know what, I'm going to let it go. If you let it go, then it should have never came out your mouth. So that shows you didn't let it go if you keep talking to other people but your brother. Go ahead.
If he shall hear you, you have gained your brother.
Uh-huh.
But if he will not hear you, then take with you one or two more.
Now, we will take part of this. Some of us start right here. We already got 2 or 3 people. Wait a minute. Wait. So the first time you talked to your brother, it was 3 people around? Once again, you didn't follow your instruction. Your instruction was to go and talk to your brother by you and him alone. The first time your brother heard it, it was a room full of people. Guess what? You are a false witness. You understood what it said? You know how to read, right? Okay. Go ahead.
That in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, every word may be established. Mm-hmm. And if he shall neglect to hear them, tell it on to the church.
We go straight to the church first. We read, I know Hebrew is read from right to left, right? And the opposite. Mm-hmm. Okay, so maybe we read this in Hebrew. Maybe we started at the bottom and we work our way up. Maybe that's what it is. So the first time some people heard, the whole church heard it at the same time. Then, now check out how backward we are. At the end of making all the accusations, then we said, I'll talk to you privately. False witness. You have missed your opportunity to talk to those people individually because you took it the other way first. No, you don't lost that opportunity. How can we be this intelligent and can't comprehend simple things? It's like Yeshua said, because you claim to know, you now have no cloak for your sin. Go ahead.
But if he neglect to hear the church, let him be unto you as an heathen man and a publican.
Now, check that out. If you went the opposite way, you started right here. You were supposed to start before that and then get to this. You already moved yourself to heathen and publican. I don't know what folk be thinking. I don't know what book they reading. We love to quote scripture. But it's important that you remember the scripture that has something to do with what you doing. We remember every scripture that got something to do with somebody else. They shall not steal. That said thou, brother. That don't say they. It said they shall not steal. Now thou. Thou mean you. Thou don't mean they. This is old English. Thou. Thou. That don't say they. That's you. Go ahead.
Verily I say unto you, whatsoever you shall bind on earth shall be bound in heaven, and whatsoever you shall loose on earth shall be loosed in heaven. Again I say unto you, that if two of you shall agree on earth as touching anything that they shall ask, it shall be done for them of my Father which is in heaven. For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them.
Right, but you're supposed to start with the individual first, then go down to the 2 or 3. When you start with the 2 or 3, you have defiled the entire process. Just like it says, tell your brother alone. Well, wait a minute. It's completely opposite when you read about an elder in 1 Timothy 5:19. It says, against an elder, receive not an accusation, but before 2 or 3 witnesses. Wait a minute. You got to deal with them differently. Unless you have several things, you better be careful how you bring that before an elder. Do understand something? There are elder mothers and elder brothers. Don't get it twisted that says that when it says elders that it's just dealing with a brother. Please don't get that taken out of context, and be careful what excuse you end up using. Because Yahweh will deal with you in your own excuse. Remember, the children of Israel said, have you brought our children out here to die? He said, you know what? Since you say that, the children are the one going to live. You're going to die. Be careful what excuse you use. Go ahead, priest.
Even on tell your brother alone, right?
Uh-huh.
If you have talked to somebody and they tell you to go tell that person, you still have already jumped past that.
You have already jumped past that. But you know what we do? That when you go back, you find out when something finally hits the fan, that you find out, oh, that done happened several times over. This sister said go talk to the brother. This brother said go talk to the brother. This brother said, wait a minute, how many people gonna tell you to go talk to the individual? Wait a minute. Now, while you're doing that and each one of these people is giving you sound advice, you're also sowing discord, because you've taken a situation that the original person has never even heard. They don't even know what you're talking about. Now, all these people in the room have kept hearing bits and pieces. And guess what? That original person has no even opportunity to defend themselves because they ain't even heard it. Now, how many other people have heard something, and even though they didn't react, it sits in the back of their head for years? Oh, now we got to figure out how Yahweh going to make that right. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 17. Deuteronomy chapter 17, and we're going to read verses 1 through 13. Because do understand, it is something that we need to have understanding of, because the adversary, the devil, got somebody. I hope you don't think that you done got through this whole earth, this whole life, and ain't nobody came to Yahweh with your name in their mouth. I hope you don't think that about yourself. I know you think you're devil now. You're so nice. You're so sweet. I mean, and you dress so cute. So apparently the devil saw how cute you dress and said, you know what, I'm going to leave you alone. Is that what you thought? Is that what you think? Your name is coming out of some mouth at that altar. You better learn how to defend yourself. Deuteronomy 17, and let's start at verse 1.
You shall not sacrifice unto Yahweh your Elohim any bullock or sheep wherein is blemish, or any ill-favoredness, for that is an abomination unto Yahweh your Elohim. If there be found among you, within any of your gates which Yahweh your Elohim gives you, man or woman, that has wrought wickedness in the sight of Yahweh your Elohim, in transgressing his covenant, and has gone and served other gods, and worshipped them, either the sun or moon, or any of the host of heaven, which I have not commanded, and it be told you, and you have heard of it, and inquired diligently, and behold, it be true, and the thing certain, that such abomination is wrought in Israel, then shall you bring forth that man or that woman which has committed that wicked thing unto your gates, even that man or that woman, and shall stone them with stones till they die. At the mouth of 2 witnesses or 3 witnesses shall he that is worthy of death be put to death, but at the mouth of 1 witness he shall not be put to death.
Now, what we'll do, we don't have a witness, but this one person will go to multiple people to tell their side of a story. They think that they're creating other witnesses. Only thing they're witnessing is what you said. They didn't witness the event. They're witnesses that you've sown discord because you went to all these other people instead of the individual. Go ahead.
The hands of the witnesses shall be first upon him to put him to death.
Now, this is where we get ourselves off into mess. The hands of the witness shall be first upon him to put him to death. We say we heard something, right? We said we heard this from a bird. Somebody told me. All right, well, check it out. That person that told you is supposed to be the first person to throw this stone. Where they at? Well, I ain't going to tell that person. Well, you're going to suffer whatever fate that comes from the end of this. See, we done got our street code, right? So now we supposed to be, now we holy gangsters. So we done came into the word, but we gonna bring street code in too. I ain't gonna tell. All right, well, we're gonna see what Yahweh said about those that said they ain't gonna tell. Let's see what Yahweh said. Let's see if Yahweh abide by the street code. Let's see if he abide by law code or street code. Let's see which one means something to Yahweh. Go ahead.
You got to think about the situation. Yahshua is the man, right? Mm-hmm. And Yahshua told people, see, you tell no one.
Uh-huh.
And what they went and did, told.
Go ahead.
And afterward, the hands of all the people. So you shall put the evil away from among you.
Right. So a witness, anybody who says they saw, heard, witnessed, whatever, they cannot be hid in obscurity. They can't be hidden. They have to be the first one to bring forth judgment. And we think we doing somebody a favor. No. That way, if the judgment is wrong, the witness threw the first rock. Why do you think Yahshua said, he that is without sin cast the first stone? What he did was twist the whole part of the law. Instead of the first witness throwing the first stone, he said, no, he that is without sin, because I know y'all came with this incorrect judgment. Now, let him throw the first stone. The one who throw the first stone has the biggest weight. And if that individual is incorrect, you got some serious problems that you just brought to your house. See, there's the word that we think we understand, and then there's the word that Yahweh has that he reveals when he wants to. So you got people that think they understand what they're doing. But there's a reason why you can't hide the witness. No. The witness got to come forward. The witness got to throw the first stone. Go ahead.
If there arise a matter too hard for you in judgment, between blood and blood, between plea and plea, and between stroke and stroke, being matters of controversy within your gates, then shall you arise and get you up into the place which Yahweh your Elohim shall choose. And you shall come unto the priests, the Levites, and unto the judge that shall be in those days, and inquire, and they shall show you the sentence of judgment.
Now, we go to the magistrates here and hope we'll get justice, but you find out that they got a different form of justice down there. So we have to learn how to deal with in the Yahweh system of justice. Go ahead.
And you shall do according to the sentence which they of that place, which Yahweh shall choose, shall show you.
Right. You shall do according to the sentence which they of that place shall show you. What we do. Avoid everything that is told unto us. Go ahead.
And you shall observe to do according to all that they inform you, according to the sentence of the law which they shall teach you, and according to the judgment which they shall tell you, you shall do. You shall not decline from the sentence which they shall show you, to the right hand nor to the left. And the man that will do presumptuously, and will not hearken unto the priest that stands to minister there before Yahweh your Elohim, or unto the judge, even that man shall die. And you shall put away the evil from Israel.
One way or another, the evil is going to get put away from Israel. The evil is going to get put away from Israel either by you stopping or by him stopping you. But one way it's going to stop. One way or another. Go ahead.
You know, even in this situation, you've got outlets. You got the priest, and then he said, or the judge. So you've got choices and individuals that you can go to figure out the sentence.
Yeah. We don't like any of those choices, though. Go ahead.
And all the people shall hear and fear and do no more presumptuously.
All right. Let's go to chapter 13. Deuteronomy chapter 13. And let's read verses 1 through 11.
If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and gives you a sign or a wonder, and the sign or the wonder come to pass, whereof he spake unto you, saying, let us go after other gods, which you have not known, and let us serve them, you shall not hearken unto the words of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams. For Yahweh your Elohim proves you, to know whether you love Yahweh your Elohim with all your heart and with all your soul.
So wait a minute. Yahweh will leave something in your midst. Sometimes you'll watch and you'll see somebody give another individual the lie to tell. Sometimes people will lead you and say, so you was here at 3:30, remember? No, I didn't get here at 3:30. No, remember, you know how you got here at 3. No, I didn't. No, that ain't what time I got here. Wait a minute. Be careful, because Yahweh your Elohim tests you to prove whether or not you are going to serve him or not. You think that trial is somebody else's. Ain't nothing more interesting than watching somebody come thinking that they finna defend somebody else's honor, and it's actually them that's on trial. Ain't nothing worse than thinking that they doing one thing and it's like, nah, they not the one that need defended. Go ahead.
You shall walk after Yahweh your Elohim and fear him and keep his commandments and obey his voice, and you shall serve him and cleave on to him. And that prophet or that dreamer of dreams shall be put to death, because he has spoken to turn you away from Yahweh your Elohim, which brought you out of the land of Egypt and redeemed you out of the house of bondage, to thrust you out of the way which Yahweh your Elohim commanded you to walk in. So shall you put the evil away from the midst of you. If your brother, the son of your mother, or your son, or your daughter, or the wife of your bosom, or your friend, which is as your own soul.
He's making sure he's going very close. Your brother, the son of your mother, or your son, your daughter, the wife of your bosom. How close does it need to be for you to have respect to person? How close does it get before your judgment change and goes against what's written, and then it goes according to how you feel? Go ahead.
Entice you secretly, saying, Let us go and serve other gods, which you have not known, you nor your fathers. Name me of the gods of the people which are round about you, near unto you, or far off from you, from the one end of the earth even unto the other end of the earth. You shall not consent unto him, nor hearken unto him. Neither shall your eye pity him, neither shall you spare, neither shall you conceal him. But you shall surely kill him. Your hand shall be first upon him to put him to death.
Here we go with the first upon. See, you have certain order. First of all, you shall not conceal him. We think that we abiding by some kind of wicked street code. I will not tell. Hey, you would go right in the cell with him. Now y'all get to share that space. It's going to be cozy. Because you going, whether you committed the crime or not, you going in there too. Go ahead.
And afterwards the hand of all the people. And you shall stone him with stones that he die, because he has sought to thrust you away from Yahweh your Elohim, which brought you out of the land of Egypt, from the house of bondage. And all Israel shall hear and fear, and shall do no more any such wickedness as this is among you.
So, verse 11, and if all Israel shall hear and fear, wait a minute, y'all were going to make this thing public. See, we have an opportunity. Consider this. In the beginning, it says, go to your brother, you and him alone. You know, you have an opportunity to quietly deal with something, and nobody has to know your business. But when we go the opposite way, now it has to be dealt with. If all Israel shall hear, no. You have lost the opportunity to keep it quiet. No, Yahweh he is righteous. But you have to follow the instructions that he give you. You have the opportunity to have a quiet conversation one-on-one, and nobody has to know. But then when we go opposite of that, now everybody gonna know. Brother, I want you to read Leviticus 5 and verse 1. Let's go to the next graphic. I want you to read that for me.
And if a soul sin and hear the voice of swearing, and is a witness, whether he has seen or known of it, if he do not utter it, then he shall bear his lawlessness.
Wait. Whose lawlessness? Listen closely. If a soul sin and hear the voice of swearing and is a witness, whether he has seen or known of it, if he doesn't tell it, then he shall bear his lawlessness. Whose lawlessness? The lawlessness of the individual that they heard about. Wait a minute. So let me get this straight. So you telling me if I know that they robbed the bank and they tell me, but I don't come tell you, then I go to jail for robbing the bank? Yes. See, sometimes we think we understand Yahweh's word. We need to stop being ready to go play battle script and make sure we even understand the script. We don't even understand the script. I'm going to read a note to you right here. It says, the voice of swearing, call Allah, rather the voice of adjuration, as the Septuagint renders. For this does not relate to the duty of informing against a common swearer, but to the case of a person who, being adjured by the civil magistrate to answer upon oath, people have been sworn that says, you know what, I'm in a forum, but I am not going to reveal, refuses to declare what he or she knows upon the subject. Such a one shall bear his iniquity or lawlessness, shall be considered as guilty in the sight of Elohim of the transgression which he has endeavored to conceal, and must expect to be punished for hiding the lawlessness with which he was acquainted. Go ahead, Priest.
You know, in a situation like that, when you conceal a person, there's several things happening. You don't give an opportunity for diligent inquiry to that person.
Nope.
Cross-examination to that person.
Nope.
And then you might, while you're sitting there, you might realize that, you know what, you were a false witness to me.
Exactly.
Now you also don't give them an opportunity to get correction, examine their own ways, and back up, because now you leave the opportunity for them to do that to someone else.
Right. See, we think that it's honorable. I ain't no snitch. We think we being honorable, you've caused all manner of wickedness to go forward. Now, the tribe of Benjamin was almost totally killed off because they protected the wrongdoers when it came to dealing with the man and his concubine. By refusing to give those individuals up, they agreed to take on their punishment. And when we commit the same deed, we shall also receive the punishment as if we've done it ourselves. Because in actuality, most of the times we are protecting those people because we know that we're going to do the same thing or something the like in the future. Let's go to 1 Kings chapter 3. See, we ain't protecting folk for nothing. Don't get it twisted. We like to say it's because of our honor. No. That ain't why you ain't telling. You ain't telling because you're going to do the same thing. Murderers don't like telling on other murderers. Why? Because they know they're going to murder somebody. So they're like, I don't want no parts of that. Okay. The murderer is not talking because he's just that fine of an individual. I mean, remember, he is a murderer. No. There's a reason for that. So 1 Kings chapter 3, and we're going to start this at verse 5, because one of the things we have to deal with is the tactics of finding a liar. Let's go into that. Start at verse 5.
In Gibeon, Yahweh appeared to Shlomo in a dream by night. And Elohim said, ask what I shall give you. And Shlomo said, you have showed unto your servant Dawid my father great mercy, according as he walked before you in truth, and in righteousness, and in uprightness of heart with you. And you have kept for him this great kindness, that you have given him a son to sit on his throne, as it is this day. And now, O Yahweh my Elohim, you have made your servant king instead of Dawid my father, and I am but a little child. I know not how to go out or come in. And your servant is in the midst of your people, which you have chosen, a great people that cannot be numbered nor counted for multitude. Give therefore your servant an understanding heart to judge your people.
This is what he asks. Give therefore your servant an understanding heart to judge your people. Go ahead.
That I may discern between good and bad. For who is able to judge this, you're so great a people? And the speech pleased the Adonai that Shlomo had asked this thing.
It was pleasing that he asked for wisdom. He didn't say, give me all of my, I want money flowing. I want so much money I can't hold it. He asked for the wisdom to do the job. All right? That was the request. Go ahead.
And Elohim said unto him, because you have asked this thing, and have not asked for yourself long life, neither have asked riches for yourself, nor has asked the life of your enemies.
All the things that we normally ask for. Go ahead.
But has asked for yourself understanding to discern judgment. Behold, I have done according to your words. Lo, I have given you a wise and an understanding heart, so that there was none like unto you, like before you, neither after you shall any arise like unto you.
Wait a minute. He's going to be given uncommon wisdom. Because he didn't ask for the same things that normal men ask for when they get an opportunity. Yahweh respected his request. I respect that you asked for that. Go ahead.
And I have also given you that which you have not asked.
Wait a minute. He respected what he asked for so much that he gave him what he asked for and gave him what he didn't ask for. Said, now this is what you was battling with. See, you asked me for wisdom. But you know, yesterday night you were thinking about making sure you was paid. So since I know the wrestling in your mind, and you wrestled in your mind and came and said, this is the one I'm going to ask. I'm going to give you that other thing that you was scared to ask. I'm going to give you that thing you asked for and that other thing. Yeah, I'm going to give you that money too. Go ahead.
Both riches and honor, so that there shall not be any among the kings like unto you all your days. And if you will walk in my ways to keep my statutes and my commandments, as your father Dawid did walk, then I will lengthen your days.
Wait a minute. You asked for long life. You didn't ask for long life or riches or the death of your enemies. Wait a minute. He's going down the line now. All the things that you were struggling with asking, because everybody else I talked to asked for that. I'm going to give you wisdom, long life, honor. Wait a minute. I'm giving you all those things that everybody else asked for. Now, this caused some serious amount of jealousy now. Wait a minute. He's not only giving him what he asked for, but he also giving them what they asked for. Wait a minute. Ain't no other way than to get some jealousy than to get something that somebody else asked for. And then they find out you ain't asked. So you asked Yahweh for riches? No, I actually asked for wisdom. I don't even know where all this other stuff come from. You know what? I hate you. Why? I didn't even ask for what you asked for. Okay, go ahead.
And Shlomo awoke, and behold, it was a dream. And he came to Jerusalem, and stood before the ark of the covenant of Yahweh, and offered up burnt offerings, and offered peace offerings, and made a feast to all his servants.
Now, he said he woke up, it was a dream. All right, now Yahweh going to show you that it was more than a dream. Go ahead.
Then came there 2 women, that were harlots, unto the king, and stood before him. And the one woman said, O my Adonai, I and this woman dwell in one house, and I was delivered of a child with her in the house. And it came to pass the 3rd day after that I was delivered, that this woman was delivered also. And we were together. There was no stranger with us in the house, save we 2 in the house. And this woman's child died in the night, because she overlaid it. And she arose at midnight, and took my son from beside me, while your handmaid slept, and laid it in her bosom, and laid her dead child in my bosom. And when I arose in the morning to give my child suck, behold, it was dead. But when I had considered it in the morning, behold, it was not my son, which I did bear. And the other woman said, No, but the living is my son, and the dead is your son. And this said, No, but the dead is your son, and the living is my son. Thus they spake before the king. Then said the king, The one says, This is my son that lives, and your son is the dead. And the other says, No, but your son is the dead, and my son is the living. And the king said, Bring me a sword. And they brought a sword before the king. And the king said, Divide the living child in 2, and give half to the one and half to the other.
All right, now wait a minute. Was this legal? Was this a legal proclamation to divide the child? Can we find that in Yahweh's law? What is Shlomo doing right now? But see, the tactics to find a liar goes a little different. And folks, quick to say, well, mine wouldn't do such and such. Wait. These are tactics on finding a liar, and he has now suggested to cut the child in 2. Do you actually think he was going to divide the child? So, the decree to divide the child was to force one of them to reveal themselves. But he got both of them to reveal themselves. Go ahead.
Then spake the woman whose the living child was unto the king, for her bowels yearned upon her son.
That's what happened when it's yours. When it's yours, you don't want nothing to happen to it. Even if you got to give it up, you rather give it up than watch it die. Go ahead.
And she said, O my Adonai, my master, give her the living child, and in no wise slay it. But the other said, Let it be neither mine nor yours, but divide it.
Now, why would a woman say that about her own child? She has already lost hers. Misery loves company. Misery loves company. I can't be in this house. I done killed my baby, and she gonna be over here feeding the baby right in front. If her child died too, then we can be friends again. Right. So these are some of the people that you done got close to. They're upset about your progress, and they need you to step a few steps back down so y'all can be friends again. Right. Go ahead.
But from a compassionate place, she couldn't even take the child because she knew she would have to live with this lie in front of her face all the time.
But folk okay living with a lie. They'll learn. They'll learn to live with it. It's going to come out along the way in her dealings. But she's going to be so happy to still have a child she'll keep telling that lie. Go ahead.
Then the king answered and said, Give her the living child, and in no wise slay it. She is the mother thereof.
She is the mother thereof. Go ahead.
And all Israel heard of the judgment which the king had judged, and they feared the king, for they saw that the wisdom of Elohim was in him to do judgment.
Wait a minute. It was wisdom in finding out who was lying. So sometimes folks are in the midst of something and don't know what we are actually witnessing. We don't even understand that something is being put forth so that you can get a liar to expose themselves. Folks too busy talking about what wouldn't happen or couldn't happen that they don't even realize that they have exposed some things, not understanding the wisdom that is being put before them. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 19. See, don't think Yahweh is limited to his law to get to expose you. No, he'll let a heathen come in and expose you. He's like, oh, okay, you don't want to tell me? Oh, you don't want to tell me? That's all right. That's all right. I tell you what, I'm going to let this heathen beat it out of you. I bet you tell him. I bet you tell him. Oh, you don't want to confess to me? That's all right. That's all right. You're going to confess to this heathen before sundown. See, he don't have no limitations on what he'll do to you. Deuteronomy chapter 19, and let's start at verse 15.
One witness shall not rise up against a man for any lawlessness, or for any sin, in any sin that he sins. At the mouth of 2 witnesses, or at the mouth of 3 witnesses, shall the matter be established. If a false witness rise up against any man to testify against him that which is wrong, then both the men, between whom the controversy is, shall stand before Yahweh.
Now, what's funny is sometimes people be confused. They might call a forum and then say, well, you know, why all these people in here? Well, maybe you forgot who all you told. See, it says both the men between whom the controversy is. Now, it's only 2 men if you ain't tell but that man. You know, when you went around and started telling other people, you know, you added other people to the room. What's amazing is then people will be amazed, like I don't understand why these people in the room. How many people you talk to? I mean, according to this, it's only supposed to be those 2. But that is also assuming that you have not sown discord and talked to other people instead of the individual with whom you actually have the controversy. Go ahead.
When you look at this dynamics, Yahweh is the first one in that room. Mm-hmm. And before the priest with an S, not priest, singular, but priest, plural, and judges, plural, which shall be in those days. And the judges shall make diligent inquisition, and behold, if the witness be a false witness, and has testified falsely against his brother.
So what you're saying is, according to the people who they told, the governing body is in the room as well. Mm-hmm. So why would anybody be confused as to why they're individual in the room? You can tell who reading and who ain't. Sometimes folk brag about their non-reading and don't know that they're bragging that they have absolutely no connection to what's happening there. How could you be questioning that? Go ahead.
Then shall you do unto him as he had thought to have done unto his brother. So shall you put the evil away from among you.
Wait a minute. And this is the thing that we have to deal with. The punishment for a lie is whatever you intended to happen to the other individual. No other punishment is like that. The punishment for a lie is the strangest thing. Okay? And we get so accustomed to lying that we just they just roll right off. Like it's nothing. But this punishment for lying goes according to whatever the desire was with the lie. Keep reading.
And those which remain shall hear and fear, and shall henceforth commit no more any such evil among you.
Okay, stop. Once again, this has to go public. What does verse 20 say? Read it again.
And those which remain shall hear.
Those which remain shall hear. So it's no longer about the individuals within the situation. It is now about the other individuals to learn and say, you know what? I ain't doing that. I tell you what, I don't know what else I'm going to do or what I ain't going to do, but I know I'm not doing that. You can go ahead and put that one, strike it off the list. Not doing that. Next. But how do they know that? Because they watched what happened and said, I'm not doing that. So now when it goes incorrectly, it must go all the way around at that point. Go ahead, bro.
And your eye shall not pity, but life shall go for life. Eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot.
Now, he's got to tell you that your eye shall not pity. Whatever they wanted or desired, that is what has to be done for them, and you can't show them any mercy. You can't hide. You can't conceal them. You can't do any of that. Now, if the punishment for telling a lie is whatever the liar intended for the person they were lying on, then the intent of that person's deed must be investigated. Sometimes the only purpose of a lie is to cause harm to a person's image. Sometimes Yahweh causes that judgment to come from a man's own house, as in the case of King David. If a man believes or accuses someone of telling his business, then Yahweh may make him tell his own business and destroy his own image when the knowledge of his business, which he himself told, gets out. This would be the perfect scenario of judgment, as he was made to commit the deed that he falsely accused his brother of. Let's go to Proverbs chapter 6. See, sometimes not only will we be standing in the middle of judgment, but we will call the forum to bring forth our judgment. We had a judgment party and sent out invitations. Will you come? Will you come? Will you come to my judgment party? There'll be cake, ice cream, and streamers. What? Yeah, we send out invitations, not knowing that the subject of the party is us. Proverbs chapter 6, and let's read verses 16 through 19.
These things does Yahweh hate. Yea, 7 are an abomination unto him. A proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood, and heart that devises wicked imaginations.
Yeah, let me tell you something. When you get off in your mind and get off into dealing with things, you start getting into that wicked imagination, and you start believing that what you have imagined is real. Go ahead.
Feet that be swift to run to mischief, a false witness that speaks lies, and he that sows discord among brethren.
Now, you got to understand how much is in here. It says a proud look, a lying tongue, and hands that shed innocent blood. Wait a minute. If you are telling falsehoods, then you are shedding innocent blood. A heart that devises wicked imagination, a false witness that sows discord among the brethren. What do you think Lucifer was trying to do with Yahweh's relationship with Job? I'm telling you, if you take this, he gonna curse you to your face. You trying to sow discord between him and his servant. You have to understand something. Why would we tell certain information? What is our gain out of getting that? Oh, you're trying to separate the camaraderie between this man and this individual. So then when we examine something, then now Yahweh has to make sure the punishment matches the intent of that person's heart. So whenever we are speaking to other people about an issue that you have not spoken to the original person about, you are truly sowing discord. You don't have to ask. The very first question that we should be asking when somebody bring us something, have you talked to them about it? No, you sowing discord there. Why are you talking to me? Have you talked to that individual? You're giving me all kind of information, but you ain't talked to them. You sowing discord. Are you trying to change my view of that individual by telling me this? What is the purpose that you have brought this to me? But you have not gone to that person. And when things go backwards, and once somebody show you who they are, you need to be very careful after that. And I have, over time, I have developed, I never speak to a liar alone. Once somebody shows you that they are a liar, understand something. Now every last one of your words have the ability to be twisted and flipped around. They have shown you that they are a liar. Now you have lost the ability to speak to me by myself. No, I need a witness every time I talk to you now, because I now know that you take words and flip them. So what you think is one conversation ends up being something else. Now, what if they wait many years later to where you don't even remember the conversation? Now you have doubt within yourself. Now this person said, well, maybe you just forgot that you had said that. Well, I mean, we are talking about 7 years ago, right? See, now you are even second guessing yourself because, this has taken this long. I want to read something here. It says in Revelation 22:15, for outside of the kingdom are dogs, sorcerers, whoremongers, murderers, idolaters, and whosoever loves and makes a lie. Now, the one thing you can count on, if you're a whoremonger, you're also a liar. Because one thing a whoremonger has to do is to lie constantly to keep mongering among whores. You can't keep telling the truth if you're going to keep lying. Because understand, you got to lie about where you went. You got to lie about how long you were there. You got to go one place for 15 minutes and then try to convince the people in your house you were there the whole 2 hours. You had to lie when you left. You had to lie when you came back. You had to lie about what you ate because they don't serve that what you really ate at the place where you went. Now you even lying about biscuits? Because they realize, wait a minute, you ate some cheddar biscuits? They don't sell cheddar bay biscuits at that restaurant you went to. Now you can't even tell the truth about what you ate. If you're a whoremonger, you're a liar. You ain't got no choice. They go hand in hand. And Yahweh hates liars. Okay, where we at, brother? Now, there was a thing that we talked about in Bible study, and I want to go back to this. It says, this was concerning the sister Susanna. The two men who were obsessed with Susanna in the Apocrypha, both were smitten with her beauty. Their imagination got the best of them, and they began to sow discord against her. These men were the experienced people in the word, and their experience gave them the benefit of the doubt from the people. This benefit of doubt caused the people to bypass the rules of diligent inquiry. This same concept was bypassed when Joseph was accused of sexual assault by Potiphar's wife. Potiphar believed his wife 100% and ended up punishing an innocent man. These examples should cause us to understand how important it is to follow the rules. Not following those rules when the individual is someone close to us is equal to having respect of person. Brother, let me get you to read Deuteronomy chapter 20 and verse 8.
And the officers shall speak further unto the people, and they shall say, what man is there that is fearful and faint-hearted? Let him go and return into his house, lest his brethren's heart faint as well as his heart.
Now, what we're dealing with now is the spirit of something. A lot of times people will say, well, I didn't particularly say this or that. But what we do is put forth negative energy. The negative energy of fear will transfer from one individual to the other. So, consider this situation of Susanna in the Apocrypha. So, let's say if the head of the house has animosity concerning someone. You understand that they transfer that animosity to their family, whether they know they're doing it or not. See, the head leads the house. The rest of the house follows in those things. So consider if one of these men, because it says that these were established men that were standing there staring at Susanna. Now, let's say if one of those men that was staring at Susanna from the bushes was married. His wife now has animosity against Susanna because of her husband's attraction towards her. Now, Susanna hasn't done anything to the woman. She now has animosity because of her husband's roaming eyes. It's not that this woman has done anything. And you know, if anybody know how creative a woman is, now a woman's creativity, she does this thing called nicety, where it's nice and nasty. Well, a woman can call another woman out of her name. How your little friend Clara? Stop, don't play with me. Well, how's Clara? That ain't her damn name. Oh, I'm sorry, call her. I'm sorry. You know that wasn't her damn name when you said it. See, that's nicety. That's nicety. Just gonna straight call that woman out her name. You know her damn name wasn't no Clara. See, where does that come from? That woman didn't do nothing to her. Why did she call that woman out her name? See, she has animosity with that woman, not because of anything that woman has done. She has a problem with that woman because of her own husband. See, now she's wondering, why you stay at that man's house so long? You was over there looking at Susanna, wasn't you? That's where that comes from. All right, now she called the woman names or not accept any of the woman's words, but not because of anything that the woman has done. See, we have to understand that the spirit of something will follow us, whether we know it or not. So we have to ask ourselves, what type of energy are we putting out? And sometimes energy is growing because you haven't dealt with something. Energy is growing. It's steadily getting worse and worse. Just because you put a Band-Aid on a sore, it didn't go away. Did you put anything else on it before you put the Band-Aid on it? Or you just put the Band-Aid on it to cover what other people see? That doesn't fix the issue. It's still infected under there. You got to treat that. And you don't treat something by ignoring it and just hoping that it goes away on its own. Let's go to Psalm chapter 35. Psalm chapter 35, and let's read verses 1 through 14.
Plead my cause, O Yahweh, with them that strive with me. Fight against them that fight against me. Take hold of shield and buckler, and stand up for mine help. Draw out also the spear, and stop the way against them that persecute me. Say unto my soul, I am your salvation.
Now, pay attention. Pay attention, because your time gonna come. You need to know what to read. You need to know what to say. You need to know what to pray. Pay attention. You ever pay attention and realize it says, all of a sudden the words of Israel came unto me, and Yahweh came to their rescue. You need to pay attention to what happened. What caused him to all of a sudden hear? Listen. Listen. It don't just matter that you can just go and say anything. No. Yahweh is a covenant Elohim, and there's certain words that have more weight than others. Just like you can go in a courtroom, you say certain things, they have to react. You can fuss and do all of those things, but when them credit people call you and you say cease and desist, they can no longer call you. What was it? Was it that you said, don't call me no damn more? No, they didn't respect that. But they respected cease and desist. They were no longer allowed to communicate with you. What happened? You use certain words. Pay attention. Read, priest.
Let them be confounded and put to shame that seek after my soul. Let them be turned back and brought to confusion that devise my hurt. Let them be as chaff before the wind, and let the angel of Yahweh chase them. Let their way be dark and slippery, and let the angel of Yahweh persecute them. For without cause have they hid for me their net in a pit, which without cause they have digged for my soul. Let destruction come upon him at unawares, and let his net that he has hid catch himself. Into that very destruction let him fall. And my soul shall be joyful in Yahweh. It shall rejoice in his salvation. All my bones shall say, Yahweh, who is like unto you, which delivereth the poor from him that is too strong for him. Yes, the poor and the needy from him that spoils him. False witnesses did rise up. They laid to my charge things that I knew not.
Right. They laid to my charge things that I knew not. Man, there's a reason why the scripture says if something happens, go and take your brother. Go to your brother alone. But if you wait 8 years before you go to your brother, did you really expect to get any resolve in that? No, you don't want no resolve. Matter of fact, we don't even go to our brother then, even after dragging out something for damn near a decade. We weren't trying to get no resolve. We just wanted to tell it to everybody. Go ahead.
They rewarded me evil for good, to the spoiling of my soul. But as for me, when they were sick, my clothing was sackcloth. I humbled my soul with fasting, and my prayer returned into my own bosom. I behaved myself as though he had been my friend or brother. I bowed down heavily, as one that mourns for his mother.
Now, if you listen carefully, you can hear how the psalmist is heartbroken because of the hidden heart of his friend. Imagine if your friend came to you about an ailing son or daughter, and you prayed for them both. Still yet imagine your friend was in dire straits and needed financial assistance to keep his family off the street during a difficult transition, and you came through with no questions asked. Then you find that your friend had told others that he had a problem with you. Your friend had no problem sharing the intimate needs of his family, but could not share with you all of the things he had spoken to everyone else. Your friend has unknowingly placed himself in a dangerous situation. Let's explain that. Let's go to Matthew chapter 5. See, this is why it's important for us to follow what is written. Now, because an individual was not told everything that their friend needed, they provided it. If their friend needed prayer, they prayed. If their friend needed assistance, they assisted. They didn't know that their friend had something against them. Well, this is how this then becomes dangerous. Matthew chapter 5, and I want you to read verses 43 through 48.
You have heard that it has been said, you shall love your neighbor and hate your enemy. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you.
Now, you don't know that in praying for your friend and his house, that you are praying for someone who's despitefully using you. Now, that means they needed your financial help, they needed your prayer, but they never were open to you about what they were holding against you. Now, you had no idea. You thought you were praying for just your friend. But now you're praying for somebody who's actually despitefully using you because they want what you have to offer, but they don't want to come to you straightforward. Now, you have accidentally started to put weight on your friend that you don't know nothing about. You have no idea. Go ahead.
That you may be the children of your Father which is in heaven. For he makes his sun to rise on the evil and on the good, and sends rain on the just and on the unjust. For if you love them which love you, what reward have you? Do not even the publicans the same? And if you salute your brethren only, what do you more than others? Do not even the publicans so? Be you therefore perfect, even as your Father which is in heaven is perfect.
Now, Luke 6:28 says the same thing. Bless them that curse you, and pray for them which despitefully use you. You have accidentally done this. You know, if you actually had known, remember one of those parts where you mentioned about the people that was in the room. You said the priest, the judge, you had various people. Now, imagine if you know that your brother has an issue against you, and then your brother comes into a point where they have need, where their family is either down and out or they have sick kids or something, you can then say, well, hold on. I should let him pray for you while we work out whatever this is. Now you have the opportunity to protect your brother. But when your brother doesn't tell you that, now you hit the altar. You pray. Now, Yahweh knows everything. So he's sitting up there like, no, you didn't. Do you know what's being said about you while you coming down here and praying for them? No, you didn't. So basically he said, I'm going to give you a week. I'm going to give you a week to straighten it out. Now the angel's week and our week is different. Now understand, he gives us an opportunity. Now, when we consider what Yahshua said, you know what? If you know that your brother has aught against you, leave your gift at the altar. Don't offer it. Go be reconciled to your brother. That means you have to mention that to your brother. Then you can come and offer your gift. Why did he tell you not to offer your gift? Because it wasn't going to be accepted. Now it makes sense why some people won't even get no offering. Because they know it ain't going to be accepted anyway. Because they're going to walk around and hold things year after year after year. Now, think about what all those other offerings have been as we make our appearances. What is that if you have held something against your brother for 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years? What have you done to all your appearances? And Yahweh will not hold us guiltless when he has given us the word and made sure that we had a teacher to explain it to us. You don't get to be protected under the veil of ignorance. You can't be intelligent and ignorant at the same time. You can't choose both of these. You have no cloak for your sin. But let us hear the conclusion of this matter. Let's go to Romans chapter 12. Romans chapter 12. And we're going to start at verse 9.
Let love be without dissimulation.
Wait a minute. Let love be without dissimulation. What kind of love do we have to offer? Go ahead.
Abhor that which is evil. Cleave to that which is good.
If we're going to abhor that which is evil, that means we're going to hate evil even if it comes from somebody we love. Or does it all of a sudden not be evil because it came from someone you love? Now is it not evil? Now you have a movable system of judgment. Go ahead.
Be kindly affectionate one to another with brotherly love, in honor, preferring one another. Not slothful in business, fervent in spirit, serving the Adonai. Rejoicing in hope, patient in tribulation, continuing instant in prayer. Distributing to the necessity of saints, given to hospitality.
Right. So when your brother come and asks you to pray for him and he's in need, you automatically say, well, hey, I have it by me. I'm going to distribute to the necessity of the saints, given the hospitality. And you figure if they can come and tell you their most personal needs of their family, surely they could tell you if they had some issue. I mean, the stuff that they have need of is actually more personal than whatever the little spat was. Go ahead.
You know, Elder, at the end of verse 9, abhor that which is evil, cleave to that which is good. It doesn't say abhor that which is evil when it comes to the servants that you know are Yahweh's servant. That's evil in any capacity, in any surroundings.
Right.
If I'm passing a heathen and he say something wrong about the word, I correct him. I don't give a damn if you're a heathen. You just said something that's wrong. And a saint don't get to tell a heathen something that's wrong because they're a heathen. Do you give wrong advice to a heathen because they're a heathen? You're supposed to be spreading this word spiritually.
Mm-hmm.
When the heathen is wrong, he's wrong. And when the saint is wrong, he's wrong. And they both got to know they're wrong.
Exactly. When it was time to correct Cephas, didn't Saul do it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Go ahead.
Bless them that which persecute you, bless and curse not. Rejoice with them that do rejoice, and weep with them that weep.
Mm-hmm.
Be of the same mind one toward another.
Now, in a situation where one has information and the other one doesn't, guess what? One of them is attempting to be of the same mind. They don't know any better. The other one is pretending to be of the same mind. Go ahead.
Mind not high things, but condescend to men of low estate. Be not wise in your own conceits. Recompense to no man evil for evil. Provide things honest in the sight of all men. If it be possible, as much as lies in you, live peaceably with all men.
If it is possible with you, as much as dwells in you. Now, in some situations that the only way you're going to have peace is to make sure that you ain't nowhere near them people. There's some people that are just not allowed, they're not going to allow you to be peaceful with them. Every time you try to be peaceful, they're going to take your niceness for weakness every time. So you eventually have to realize, the only way I'm going to have peace is to make sure that me and this individual is not in the same space. Go ahead.
Dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath. For it is written, vengeance is mine. I will repay, says the Adonai.
Uh-huh.
Therefore, if your enemy hunger, feed him. If he thirst, give him drink.
Uh-huh.
For in so doing, you shall heap coals of fire on his head.
Now, pause. You have heaped coals of fire upon your brother's head, not even knowing it. Your brother was hungry, you fed him. Your brother was in need, you prayed for him. Your brother was in need for things of his family, you prayed for his family. All the while, you were heaping hot coals of fire on your brother's head and had no idea. Then you look back at the list of calamities and you have to wonder, did I cause that? Why are all these things happening in his house? Did I cause that? I didn't mean to. I didn't mean to cause anything. I thought I was praying for my brother. But this is why I tell people, you better learn how to keep your prayers to yourself sometimes, because there's certain things that people are not telling you. So then you go out and pray for these people, and you look up, and they're in a worse situation than they were before you prayed. And you're sitting there confused. Wait a minute, Yahweh, why would they be in a worse situation after I pray for them? It's something you don't know. You have heaped hot coals of fire, not even knowing it. But once you know, and once you understand the power that Yahweh has given you, be careful how you wield it. Be careful how you deal with something. But also stand ready, so that when the adversary, the devil, throws your name on the altar, you know how to come out swinging. Not swinging like the heathen man. We just make a whole bunch of noise and throw stuff. No. No. You have to come at that with knowledge and understanding. And this book gives us everything we need to do that. But that's all that we're going to do for today. Remember, we have an appearance coming up. And I don't take it lightly that Yahweh has given us all of these things to make us understand. Once again, it is time for us to go and make an appearance before Yahweh. Every time that happened and concerning Job, another accusation was made. What if when we go to make this appearance, it's your turn? That now your name comes across Yahweh's altar. What you gonna do? That's all that we're gonna do for today. Remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.